Big Boobs, this show's about stuff.
Yeah, so it's basically like a retelling of A Christmas Carol, but with
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey and like
horse
and ghost girls that he used to date.
Ghost horse.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the world's best video podcast, Epic Boobs. I'm Luke.
I'm Paul.
I'm Diego.
Ooh,
nice.
and I'm
Oh, like the cartoon character from Nickelodeon?
Go,
No,
Diego,
like a
go.
man named Diego.
Nice.
So today we are going to be discussing Transformers Dark of the Moon preview trailer, but only in regards to how it is portraying history on a different path than we know happened.
Ooh, time.
Whoa!
Almost like an alternate universe.
Ooh, I
Right.
like stuff like
It's
that.
kind of like
Which is-
Fringe season 3.
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything about that either.
them.
I saw stuff on like preview sites. I don't watch Fringe, so
That's awesome. So in the trailer, it's the
Moon landing.
the Apollo moon mission, right? And at some point they lose radio contact, and in that point where they lose radio contact, NASA and the government are like, "All right, go investigate this alien site crash," and that's where they discover Transformers.
The only problem I have with it is, one, I don't like the Transformers movies. I'll just gonna throw that out there.
Right.
Only problem with it is, I watched the first day of the trailer and I'm like, this is awesome. And then I'm like, oh, and they're discovering crazy shit. And then I'm like, oh, it's Transformers.
Right. Exactly.
Paul forgot when he clicked.
Transformers.
I knew.
Wait, when did I watch it?
I forgot. Well, because it blew me away. Because I was like, wow, this is
Now-
like we're going back in time. This is
I
great.
agree full-heartedly. It's such a cool trailer up until it's like Bumblebee is here.
Until Michael Bay's name
Yeah.
goes across it, and I was like, no.
Well, that's like the first trailer. They had like the Mars rover, and I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. This is a new like
Yeah.
Mars IMAX movie. Sweet. Okay, cool. And then it's like, rah, but even that was something.
wait.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Robot.
Even I really couldn't give two farts about Transformers.
Yeah,
so.
but it does pose like an interesting thing. Like I think it's like that idea, that concept of like
Right.
these alternate
Yeah.
things. I think that's like an interesting thing.
you know, like retooling history, you know, kind of to see if there's something we could sneak in there to give like an alternate.
It lends a
explanation.
nice air of credibility to your otherwise crazy story that space like vehicle robots came to Earth. It's really cool. I agree with that 100%.
If you read comic books, it's a popular trend in comic books.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yeah.
it's pretty well done, except a lot of the times those comics will never be made
Well, it's like
into movies.
it's
Right.
like Watchmen. Like Watchmen's a cool like revisionist
Right.
history, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. And Luke, you brought up a really good one. The Prestige.
The Prestige is another
About
one.
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla living in like Colorado Springs,
Yeah.
which did happen, but not quite in the sense
Right.
that he was making a cloning device for two magicians. Spoilers!
It's a shame
I
because
haven't seen it.
oh,
I kind of heard spoilers.
internet, you just
was
witnessed
awesome, though.
you just witnessed a man have a movie ruined
It's such
for
a
him.
good. It's a
That's
very
okay, I'll
good
still
movie.
watch it.
Yeah,
very good
it's
movie.
worth it, dude. It's
Yeah.
so awesome.
But you know, and it's not like a super popular thing like in television or in movies, but like you said, like in comics and even in like regular novels, it's a very popular thing to do, and it's strange that like it happens so infrequently in movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but sometimes along the lines of a movie like Pearl Harbor, right? You know, which the entire thing, Pearl Harbor happened, but it didn't happen
Right.
along the lines of, you know, but they make sure to insert, you know, the right people.
Right.
Like, you know, Cuba Gooding Jr. plays that guy
Right.
who was a real guy.
but it wasn't cool Cuba Gooding Jr.
Right,
Yeah,
and Alec
exactly.
Baldwin plays a
Right.
real air captain, I believe, at that time.
Leave your goddamn hula shirts at home.
But and you see it a little bit now in video games too. A game that does it is in the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, that they do it really, really well.
They do a really nice job. They're like, well, here's all these historical figures, and they're kind of nothing's written about them for X amount of years. So
Right.
this is what
Maybe
happened
all
with
this stuff
Machiavelli
happens.
during this time.
It's
and
cool.
Leonardo. And
It's cool when you can impact history in certain ways, and you're like, well, that probably didn't happen, but there's that little party that's like, you know, there's a slight chance that
It
did.
did happen,
You know, like
yeah.
there's a conspiracy theory in you.
Well, you know, the sign that it happens in all other forms of media except for movies often because it's just a sign that films like aren't willing to like take a chance
Right.
on a lot of premises,
Right.
which could be really cool, but you know.
Also, George Bush said that revisionist historians are terrorists, so I'm pretty sure Michael Bay is the biggest terrorist of all time.
I'll second that notion.
But The Rock was good.